So next one, what are the pillars of SAP Fiori? Now few questions related to Fiori interface. So what is Fiori? First of all, Fiori is a new user interface provided by SAP. Instead of using the old screens of SAP, SAP GUI, you can use SAP Fiori through web portal. Okay, so what are the pillars of SAP Fiori user experience? There are three correct answers, right? There are actually five key pillars, out of which in this one, SAP has provided three correct one and two wrong one. Responsive is definitely one of the key pillar of SAP Fiori. Responsive means you can use SAP Fiori from your mobile, from tab, from laptop. It is responsive. There is nothing called as user based, right? There is nothing called as user based. Simple, yes, it is simple to use. SAP Fiori is simple to use compared to the SAP GUI. It is role based, again, yes, because depending upon what is your role, whether you are an accountant or you are a purchaser or you are a salesperson, you will be able to see the Fiori screen. And there is nothing called as vibrant. So the three right answers are responsive, simple, role based. Okay, in addition to responsive, simple and role based, there are two more correct answers. One is delightful, and what is the next one? Anyone can confirm what was the fifth point? Responsive, simple, role based, coherent. Yes, someone has written coherent, and that is the correct answer. Coherent means if you are using different products from SAP, you can combine all the different components into one single Fiori screen. Okay, so the five right answers are responsive, simple, role based, coherent, and finally delightful. These are the five correct answers. In this one, we can see there are two wrong answers, so we need to properly tick on the three right ones. So 1, 3, and 4 are the correct answers. Someone has written 2. Please remember, this is a confusing. Sometimes we ignore or we feel user based and role based is same, but it is different. If it is clearly provided role based, we need to ignore this user based. Okay, next one. A user want to add an application to his Fiori homepage. Okay, in SAP Fiori, you can add some of the applications. You can delete some of the applications if you don't want. But unfortunately, the user is not able to find under the app finder. There is the app finder app through which you can find the Fiori app. Okay, but the user is not able to find that. Why? This is because of the role. The user is not provided with that proper role. Okay, and in Fiori, we need to assign the Fiori catalog. Okay, and if that Fiori catalog is not assigned, you will not be able to see the Fiori app in your app finder. So let's try to understand the answers. Assign the corresponding SAP Fiori tile group to the user. No, we cannot assign the tile group to the user. Tile group is automatically assigned when you assign the catalog. Assign the corresponding SAP Fiori tile catalog to the user. Okay, let's see. This feels to be the right answer. Add the tile to the title group already assigned to the user. No, we cannot assign the tile to the tile group, and there is no tile group directly assigned to the user. Add the corresponding tile catalog to the tile group. Again, not the right answer. So the answer should be 2, which is we are going to assign the Fiori tile catalog to the user. Okay, answer is 2. You use the search in your Fiori Launchpad to loop up information for a cost center, right? So you are trying to find more information on a particular cost center. I want to know everything about a particular cost center. If you want to search for the information related to the particular cost center, then what kind of app are you going to use in order to see the information of a particular cost center. Okay, I can see a lot of wrong answers. There is only one or two right answers I can see. Okay, let's keep a pause here. Let's try to understand Fiori a little bit. Just give me a minute. I will open the Fiori screen and show you how Fiori looks like so that you understand the basics of Fiori. Okay, in order to open the Fiori screen, I will use this transaction code /UI2 /FLP, Fiori Launchpad. FLP stands for Fiori Launchpad and UI2 stands for User Interface 2. Okay, this is how the Fiori screen looks like. So it will ask your user ID and password similar to what it do in GUI. You will enter the same user ID and password which you use in GUI. Now, depending upon my role, right, you can see this is my user ID and you can see App Finder, the last question that we have seen. You can see in App Finder, I am provided with lot of different catalogs, right? So I am provided with the catalog. Catalog is assigned to this tile groups, and then within this tile groups, there are different tiles, right? So for example, if I go to, let's say, accounts payable, payments, this is a group. Okay, within one catalog, there are multiple groups, and within each and every group, you can see there are different apps. These are different tiles. Okay, now there are three type of Fiori applications. Okay, there are three type of Fiori applications. Transactional applications, which allows you to do the transaction. For example, create a single payment, or maybe, let's see, reset the cleared items, post the incoming payments. These are the transactional apps which are allowing you to perform the transactions. There are some analytical apps. Depending upon the authorization that I got, I should be able to see some analytics. Analytics means I should be able to see some graphical reports. Okay, you can see, for example, let me see if I can show you one app which is related to analytics. No, I'm not provided with the access. You can see I don't have any access related to analytics. There is a separate group for analytics, for accounts payable analytics. And the third kind of app is fact sheet. Fact sheet means if you want to see some object in detail, if you want to see the detail of a particular cost center, if you want to see the detail of a particular customer, if you want to see the detail of a particular employee, right, depending upon which modules you are using. So for a particular object, if I want to see the detail, we use fact sheets. And here in the question, it is clearly asked that if I want to see the detail of a particular cost center, which Fiori app I should use. Okay, the answer is fact sheets. So there are three type of applications. There can be another question in the certification exam. Which of the below are the different types of Fiori apps? The answer is transactional app, analytical app, and fact sheets. Okay, fact sheet is going to provide you the information of a particular object. So in this example, it is cost center. So the answer is 3. Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, you can see similar question, but this time two answers. We already discussed this. Which of the following are SAP Fiori design principles? Okay, there are two correct answers. We understood there are 5 design principles or pillars of SAP Fiori. One is role based, second is responsive, third is coherent, fourth is delightful, and fifth is simple. So routine and rational, these are the wrong answers. The right answers are 1 and 4. Let's move on. In which object do you define which SAP Fiori apps a user can use? Just now we discussed. In which object do you define which SAP Fiori apps a user can use? It is Fiori Tile Catalog, right? The answer is 4. The user is assigned to Fiori Tile Catalog. Based on that catalog, the system will be able to determine the Fiori groups and then the Fiori apps. On the Fiori Launchpad, user can choose personalizations, which means user can change the apps, user can change the sequence. Is it true or false? The answer is true. How? Let's see it. How can I change? So this is the Fiori Launchpad. This is what is happening by default. Now, for example, I want to keep this towards the end. So I can pick this and I can change it here. Okay. I realize that, okay, this is something which I don't use. This is showing unnecessarily. I want to delete this. So what I can do is I can go to edit homepage, and from here I will delete this. Right? You can see that has been deleted. Once done, I will come back and say close. So you can see that particular app has been deleted. Later on, I realized I want it back. I want to bring it again. So again, I'll go to edit homepage. Right? I will click on plus button. And here you can see a lot of different objects are available. So for example, if I go for favorites, let me see if it is available here because it was created under favorites earlier. So depending upon what you want to bring, for example, I want to bring this maintain business partner. I will click on this add to group favorites. Okay, then I'll just go back and I'll just close this. You can see maintain business partner has been added. This is called as personalization. You can delete, you can change the sequence, you can add the new one, but you will be only able to add only those apps for which the Fiori catalog has been assigned to your user ID. Right? As of now, I'm able to see everything related to supplier. I'm not able to see anything related to customer. Why? Because maybe the catalog which is assigned to my user is for accounts payable. I'm not assigned the user role for accounts receivable. Right? So this is called as personalization. So we can definitely do the personalization. The answer is true. Again, true or false? Anyone with an appropriate username and password can log on to SAP Fiori Launchpad through the web browser. What exactly we have done? This is our web browser. This is Google Chrome. We just provided our user ID and password. If we have the user ID and password, definitely we can log in into the Fiori Launchpad. So the answer is true. Next one, what are some of the personalization available to the user if their SAP Fiori Launchpad environment? So what a user can do, just now we have seen the personalizations. What we can do? User can remove the applications that they do not want to use. Just now we have seen this is possible. User can remove devices. Are we removing any devices? Are we doing anything to the devices here? Definitely not. User can add the applications from the catalog assigned to them. Just now we have seen we were able to assign. User can add new devices. Again, nothing to be done with the devices, right? So 2 and 4, these are the wrong answers. And user can add application for filtered report result. User can add the applications for filtered report results, which means you can execute a report. I don't have any report to show you, otherwise I will show you here, but they can save the report result also under their home page. So the answers are 1, 3 and 5. Okay, now we are done with Fiori. Hopefully no more questions on Fiori, but now the questions on SAP Activate. Which of the below are phases of SAP Activate methodology? You know SAP Activate methodology. What are the different phases? Let's have a quick round of overview on SAP Activate. Okay, so the best place to go and see about SAP Activate is SAP Activate Roadmap Viewer. Okay, let's go through this itself. This is a blog. I don't want to go into the blog. Yeah, this is a roadmap. Oh, it is asking for the user ID. I think someone has changed from SAP. That is the reason it is asking these things. But no problem. Let's try to understand from the blog itself. Or maybe let's go to ChatGPT. There is no harm in using ChatGPT, but please be careful because many times in SAP world, ChatGPT provides the wrong answer. I am going because I know the right answer. I just want to see whether it is showing us the right answer. But otherwise, don't use blindly. So phases of SAP Activate methodology. Okay, before I click on search, I will tell you the right answer. The first phase is discover. Second phase is explore. Third phase is first one is discover. Second is prepare. Third one is explore. Fourth one is realize. Then deploy and then run. Right, but the detailed explanation I will explain you with the help of this explanation. You can see it is not showing discover. Right, so please be careful. It is not like chat gpt will tell you everything correctly. It is not showing the discover phase. Right, the remaining phases are correct. Okay, now it is showing correct. So discover, then you come to prepare, then it is explore, then realize, then deploy and then run. Okay, just let me explain you one liner for each phase. Discover phase is used by the customers to understand how SAP S/4HANA will support their business processes, whether SAP S/4HANA is a right fit or not. Once customer has decided that yes, SAP S/4HANA is right for them, they will start with the preparation phase. In the preparation phase, they will plan the project, they will hire the consulting team who will be working on the project. In the explore phase, the consultants who are deployed on the project will understand the business requirements, they will create the blueprints, right? They will perform the fit gap analysis. Once they have the detailed requirement, they will start with the realization phase where they will do the configurations. Once the configurations are completed, in the deployment phase, the training, end user training will be given, the UAT will be done, and finally run, in which the customers will actually start using the SAP system. So these are the 6 phases of SAP Activate. And here the question is, which of the 3 correct answers? So we know prepare is one of the phase, explore is one of the phase, and realize is one of the phase. But we don't have any phase in SAP Activate called as insert. So 1, 3, and 4, these are the right answers. Which of these are SAP project methodologies? SAP Activate is one of that. Just now we discussed which was the old methodology that we were using previously. So there are two correct answers. Is there any methodology called as divide? Is there any methodology called as roll on? Someone has written 2 and 4. Sanjay, you have written 2, 4. 4 is not the right answer. What is roll on? We don't have any methodology in SAP projects as roll on. We only have two, SAP and SAP Activate. Okay, from this list. SAP SAP methodology we were using for SAP ECC projects, and SAP Activate we are using for SAP S4HANA related projects. So answer is 2 and 3. Next one, which of the following components make up an archiving object? Right, there are 3 correct answers to this question. Now this is actually the technical question, right? As a functional consultant, as a FI consultant, we normally don't enter into this place. But just to answer the questions, because this is going to be a very important question in the certification exam, I think I have provided the screenshot also. No, that is missing. So data declaration, customizing settings, and programs, these are the correct answers. 1, 2, and 3. This you need to remember from the maybe the technical side. Actually speaking, we don't enter into the archiving, right? So it is 1, 2, and 3. The deletion flag is one of the requirements that the system checks before archiving the master data, right? You know, in GL master data we have the deletion flag. In customer master data we have a deletion flag. Why do we maintain the deletion flag? If we want to delete that data, but data is not deleted immediately, data will be archived when the archival process will be executed. So definitely the deletion flag is one of the requirement that the system will use before the data is archived, and that is the reason the answer is 1. During the archiving process, okay, we are discussing some of the topics related to archiving. So during the archiving process, if the application generates a specific log, it is used. Otherwise you need to manually create a log. We don't create any log manually, right? Log is always created by the system automatically, and that is the reason the answer is false. Okay, maybe the last few questions on the SAP S4HANA overview. You want to develop a substantial enhancement for the purchase to pay process. So in P2P process, there are a lot of enhancements required, which are not available in the standard SAP system. Where does SAP recommend you to perform these enhancements? Okay, are you going to do this enhancement in SAP Fiori? SAP Fiori is just a user interface, right? It is not going to allow you any enhancements in the code. SAP Leonardo is completely different thing. And SAP suggesting that you don't do any major enhancements in your core system. So the only platform where SAP is recommending you to do the enhancements is a cloud platform, SAP Cloud Platform. So there is a typo here. This SAP should come here. It is SAP Cloud Platform. The answer is 2. Okay, this is one of the question related to keep the core clean. So don't make any major enhancements in your core system. Yes, when you are right, BTP is also part of the cloud platform itself. You are right. BTP is also part of the cloud platform. So the answer is 2. What type of objects are maintained separately per client? Okay, what type of objects are maintained separately per client? Before I go to this question, there is a question on the chat screen from Rohit. He is asking what is SAP B1? SAP B1 is completely different product, Rohit. It is a product from SAP which is for the small scale industries, for the small companies. What we are discussing, SAP S/4HANA, is a product for very, very large companies. And SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud now can be implemented for mid-size companies also. Okay, so what type of objects are maintained separately per client? There are three correct answers. Now, before I explain you this in detail, please understand ABAP programs, okay, which includes the functional modules, they are client independent, which means I don't need to maintain per client. But from the functionality point of view, transactional data, master data, organizational units configurations, this is something which we as a consultant do, right? If I create a company code in one client, it will not be available in the another client automatically. If I create a master data in one client, it will not be automatically available in my other client. Same, if I create a transactional data in one client, it will not be automatically available in another client. So the answer is 2, 3, and 5. Okay, 4 is not the right answer because 4 is a functional module, which is a technical object, a ABAP object. Right, let's proceed. So 2, 3, 5 is the right answer. So that was about the questions on the overview part of SAP S/4HANA. So although we discussed around 40 questions, but I gave you the idea that there can be more questions related to Fiori. We already discussed in Fiori there are 5 design principles. There are 3 type of Fiori apps. You can customize the layout, you can personalize the layout. Similarly, in HANA, we understood what is in memory, what is column based data storage, right? Indexes and aggregates are gone. So any other questions which are also appearing in the exam, but if they are talking the same language, you will be able to answer those questions without any problem. Okay, so before I proceed, if you have any